Hey, I'm Jordan, and welcome to part three of my Criterion Collection series. There should be one more part after this, and then at the end of the month, I'll do a recap on all the new stuff that my wife and I bought, like through the Criterion sale this month, because I think we already bought a handful of things. Um, and then I'll also probably do an update video on like the Arrow Video stuff that I got throughout October and stuff like that because I made some orders and they finally came in. I got that Hellraiser box set. Got a few things, so I might do like a second video, just kind of a general, hey, this is what I picked up this month, kind of a deal. Um, so we'll see. Anyway, to the Criterion collection, or onto the Criterion collection, whatever. Anyway, 725 Eraserhead. This is, I believe, David Lynch's first feature length movie. This one took me a couple of times to get through. I ended up really liking it, but it definitely wasn't as like, I don't know. It was a more challenging movie than, you know, Blue Velvet or something, at least in my experience. Then we've got number 770, Dress to Kill by Brian De Palma. Uh, this is pretty good. Michael Caine's in it, Nancy Allen from RoboCop. But yeah, pretty solid. Kind of not slasher. If it's any kind, it's like maybe a giallo movie more than anything else. Yeah, pretty solid movie though. I liked it. I like Brian De Palma in general though. Then we got 780 Code Unknown, a Michael Haneke. Not really 100% on how to say his name. He also directed Funny Games. Uh, I've enjoyed the movies of his that I've seen. This is not one of them. I have not seen this yet. But definitely interested in getting to it. Then we've got 790 and 791. It is the complete Lady Snowblood. And these are basically massive inspirations for Kill Bill. They're really heavily heavy inspirations for that. They're rad though. Definitely recommend this set. Plus, you get two movies for the price of one. Hard to go wrong, especially if you're trying to get something cool for the sale. Got 798, Death by Hanging. I have not watched this, but it seems like it's going to be very interesting. It's about uh, somebody that's sentenced to death and he survives his execution. So then it's just like, what do they do? Like, what do you do next? So, yeah. Then we've got 804, A Brighter Summer Day. This is a Edward Yang movie. He also directed Yi Yi. I haven't checked this one out yet. It's very long. It's 236 minutes. But I'm very, very interested in this. It just sounds really good. We've got 808, the Kennedy films of Robert Drew and Associates. I've seen all these. They're interesting. They're not super long. They're like an hour-ish each. One follows him on the campaign trail. One is... They're all short films that were broadcast on TV. So one's on the campaign trail before he was elected president. One is just, I think, about him just kind of dealing with being president. Like, yeah, just kind of getting used to it. And then there's one that is, it's I think it's about when the schools stopped being segregated. I think it was about like the first African Americans to go to college, I believe, and just him dealing with like the governor of that state who's being a real piece of garbage. And yeah, and then there's like a really short 12-minute thing after he was assassinated that just kind of shows funeral footage and stuff. But I don't know. Really interesting. I don't know. I like seeing kind of just slices of history, I suppose. And this kind of is one of those things where it's like, oh man, American politics used to like not be what it is now. Got 812, The Player, a Robert Altman movie. Tim Robbins is in it. Just tons of people, very stacked cast. Came out in 1992. It's about a guy trying to figure out who is trying to kill him, I believe. It's like a murder mystery type thing in Hollywood. So, yes. Then we've got 820, Fantastic Planet. This is just some wild animation. Like, it's almost like the animated segments of like Monty Python movies. And it's weird. Very weird. We got 821, Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This is a great movie. I've seen it. I actually haven't watched the Criterion release. I've only seen it on DVD. But yeah, this movie's great. Peter Sellers is hilarious in it. The whole thing is just a big satire about nuclear war. And it's a fun movie. It's really funny. And Stanley Kubrick directed it, so pretty neat. We've got 826, New World, Terrence Malick movie, came out in 2005. It's got Colin Farrell in it and Christian Bale, and yeah, I liked it. I watched the extended cut. I haven't seen like the normal cut of this. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good though. I mean, it felt similar to the Thin Red Line in a way. So if you like the Thin Red Line, then you'd probably enjoy the New World. It just takes place, when people like when colonizers were starting to come over to the U.S. All right. Then we got 827, McCabe and Mrs. Miller. This is like a modern Western kind of. Like it's like not like an idealized Western. Like it's not like a not even John Wayne is necessarily the best example of that because of like he did The Searchers, and that was a not like a romanticized version of the Wild West. I would say this is more Deadwood than Stagecoach. if that makes sense, if you know like that reference, then that's you know what you're getting into. Leonard Cohen did the soundtrack as well, but it weirded me out because it's not like it's early Leonard Cohen. I'm used to like Natural Born Killers era Leonard Cohen. So his voice was a lot like more gravelly and stuff in the songs that they used for Natural Born Killers. This is like him not being all gravelly and stuff, and it took me a minute to understand what was happening. Then we got 838, Pan's Labyrinth. This movie is great. Guillermo del Toro. If you haven't seen it, like, go see it. It's really cool. I mean, like most of his movies, it deals with things that are deeper than just like, oh, there's a girl and she finds monsters. Like, this is, you know, there's layers. This is talking about how awful fascism is, all that stuff. It's a Guillermo del Toro movie. Awesome creature effects, awesome art design, all of that stuff. But, you know, just, yeah, real good. Then we got 840, The Executioner. It sounds like this is a black comedy from Spain. Have not watched it yet. I know that this is like a big influence on another filmmaker named Pedro Almodovar, who I've seen a few movies from, and they were also all really good. So I imagine if this movie is an influence on him, this is probably going to be rad. Got 841, Lone Wolf and Cub. I've only watched the first one. This is 6 movies. I've only seen the first one. It's awesome. Just badass samurai action. Basically, dude's family gets killed except for his son. He carts the little boy around in a neat little hand cart thing and does some stuff, and it's rad. This was like the first one came to America. I think it's so in America they made a movie called Shogun Assassin, and that was the first 2 films from this like spliced together into one. So if you've seen Shogun Assassin, you've kind of seen some of this. But yeah, I'm definitely recommend those. Got 842, Akira Kurosawa's Dreams. Came out in 1990, so it's wild to think that this dude is making movies in, I think he started in like the late 30s, early 40s. And then this movie came out in 1990. He was making movies for that long of a period of time. It's super neat. It's super cool to be able to like look at this dude's career in such a long frame of reference. So, yeah. Then we got 855, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. Hey, you know how I just mentioned that dude, Pedro Almodovar? He directed this. I have not seen it. This is one that my wife bought. I assume it's good. Everything that I've seen from that guy has been good. Then we got 856, the Before Trilogy. So this is actually 3 movies. It's 857, 858, 859. Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight. I've only seen Before Sunrise. It's like very much slice of life, but they're like, they follow a relationship, right? It's like Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy. Yeah, Delpy. I don't know how to say it. And it's like the first one is them meeting. The second one is, I believe, them maybe meeting again for like the second time or something, and then the third one is them after they've been together for a while, and it's potentially the end of their relationship. I'm not really sure. It's a Richard Linklater film, so I feel like he's good at like kind of capturing day-to-day just life stuff, and he likes to use the same people on projects that like go like last a really long time. So it's like the first one came out in 95, the second one came out in 2004, and the third one came out in 2013. So it's like you literally see, because it's, same actors, you see them age and grow and change, which is really interesting. Um, I I think that's a really novel way to make a film. Then we got 863, Multiple Maniacs, a John Waters film. I'm a big John Waters fan. I like his sense of humor. It appeals to me. You don't know what you're getting necessarily when you throw in a John Waters movie. Um, you can get kind of nothing too insane like in Serial Mom, or you can get pink flamingos. So you roll the dice when you watch a John Waters movie, but you're always gonna have fun. Then we got 868 Tampopo. Uh, this is a lovely movie. I had a blast watching this. It came out in 1985. Yeah, it's a fun one. It's really nice. It's got a good pace. It's kind of weird. I really dug this movie. So yeah, Tampopo is great. Also, watch it while eating some ramen. Hi, Wolfman. No, don't come into the shop, buddy. Then we got 872, Ghost World. Based on a comic book, came out in 2001. I think this was Scarlett Johansson's first movie. It's got Steve Buscemi in it. Kind of like a weird offbeat comedy. Yeah, I enjoyed Ghost World. Then we've got 888, Stalker. This is a Tarkovsky movie. Came out in 1979. It's about traveling through this weird zone where like physics and stuff aren't necessarily what they should be. And if you find this certain spot in this weird zone, one of your greatest wish will be fulfilled, basically. Super weird. It's kind of a loose story. But I liked it. Like, I don't know. There's something about this movie that I enjoyed, even if I didn't necessarily know what was happening all the time. Then we got 890, Meantime, Tim Roth, Gary Oldman. It's just about being poor in England in the 80s, and it's kind of a bummer, but it's interesting. Gary Oldman plays like a skinhead dude, which is interesting, kind of fun, considering he went on to play Sid Vicious later. 894, The Piano Teacher, another Michael Haneke movie. This is something. This is an intense movie. It's kind of hard to watch sometimes because the main character is just not having a great time. And yeah, it's gnarly. All right. Then we've got 896, The Lure. I haven't seen this. This is one that that my wife picked up. I assume it's about a mermaid. So yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. I will check it out eventually. I do want to just watch all of the Criterion movies I have, because I imagine if they're putting it out, it's probably not a bad movie. And if it's something we bought, we've done research, so there's something in it that we're interested in, right? Like, I don't, despite the fact that I own a billion movies, I don't just buy movies to buy movies. I do research and, find ones that I'm interested in. Then we got 898, Twin Peaks Firewalk with Me. This is the follow-up to the TV show Twin Peaks. So, you gotta watch season 1, you gotta watch season 2, then you watch this, then you watch season 3. And if you want extra credit, you can read a couple of books and stuff in there. And, yeah, this was pretty good. I know there's another film in here, kind of, called The Missing Pieces, and it's like an hour and a half, and it just deleted an alternate takes assembled into a 90-minute thing. I haven't watched The Missing Pieces, but if you're interested in Twin Peaks, you just gotta keep going and watch this. It explains what happens before Laura Palmer is killed. And that's not a spoiler, because that's literally like what the entire show is based on, is her dying. So, Firewalk with Me, real good. Got 903 Jabberwocky, a Terry Gilliam movie. He also directed 12 Monkeys, and I mean, just a bunch of random stuff. Fisher King. Of course, now that I've said that, I can't think of Terry Gilliam movies. He's directed a lot of stuff. I actually haven't watched this yet. This was, I believe, his first feature-length movie. So, then we've got 929 Female Trouble, another John Waters movie. Like I said, if you like John Waters, you'll like this. Hey, bud. Then we got 942 Tree of Life. This is a Terrence Malick movie. Sean Penn's in it. A whole bunch of people. Sorry, my cat's trying to get in here. Wolfman, stop. I haven't watched this one yet. Came out in 2011. It looks really interesting. I've heard good things, so, you know. You're just gonna chill out right there? That's great. We got 958, 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days. This is a Romanian film about a woman that has to go to an abortion clinic, and just sounds really gnarly and intense. So, yep. Whoa. Move the pile a little closer. We got 959 In the Heat of the Night. Yeah, Sidney Poitier, Rod Steiger. This is a really good movie. Came out in the late 60s. It's a detective story. Yeah, has a lot to say about racism and stuff. It's a really good movie. I would say could be essential viewing. Same with, like, you know, To Kill a Mockingbird, stuff like that. Then we got 967. I Want to Hold Your Hand. This is, I believe, Robert Zemeckis' first movie, or one of his first. It's about a bunch of kids that are trying to go see the Beatles when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Beatles. I do like some Beatles songs, but I don't think they're like the most incredible band ever. But this movie's really fun. Just like a goofy comedy. And yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. Loads of random people are in here. And yeah, it's just cool to see, like, I don't know. I like these, like, goofy comedies. And yeah, it's cool to just see, like, basically where Robert Zemeckis went after this, since he did Back to the Future and Forrest Gump and, you know, tons of stuff. Tons of movies. We got 971 and 972. Jackie Chan, the Police Story collection. Well, it's Police Story 1 and 2. If you want Police Story 3, you gotta go get a different DVD that Criterion hasn't put out. It's Jackie Chan, crazy stunt work, super dope. I feel like you kind of know what you're getting into with the Jackie Chan movie. 975, Funny Games, another Michael Haneke, whatever. However you say his name. I'm just going to say every way possible every time I bring it up. Funny Games. This movie's pretty gnarly. It's just, you're not necessarily going to have a good time watching it. It's a home invasion movie there's more to it than that, but it basically boils down to a home invasion movie. He also remade this himself, like shot for shot in English a few years later, and Naomi Watts is in that one. This is the original one. I like it. It's just, kind of brutal. Then we got 977, David Lynch's Blue Velvet. Laura Dern is in it. Dennis Hopper, Kyle MacLachlan. I feel like if you're into David Lynch, you've probably seen this already. This is probably the second David Lynch movie I ever saw, because I saw Lost Highway when it came out in the 90s, and then later when I was getting into just checking out film on my own, I was like, hey, I want to watch some movies made by this David Lynch guy, because I didn't realize that he had made Lost Highway, because I saw it when I was a kid. And so I think this was the first one that I watched when I, looked up a David Lynch movie on my own. So, pretty good, I guess, entrant. Like, it's a good entry David Lynch movie. 982, Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Haven't seen this. I've heard it's great. This is one that my wife picked up. I'm very interested in it. I like crazy musicals and stuff. I'm a big Rocky Horror Picture Show fan, so yeah, pumped to get around to this at some point. We got 984, 1984. Based on the book. John Hurt's in it. I actually haven't seen this, nor have I read the book, but I know that it's about standing up to garbage fascist governments and such, and I'm down with that. All right. We got 995, Polyester. It's another John Waters movie. This one, I'm very excited. So it comes with a poster and stuff. It also comes with a smell-o-vision, like a scratch and sniff thing, because I guess there's some gnarly smells in the movie. So I guess as you're watching, you just gotta scratch that and smell it as you're watching the movie. I have not done it. I'm terrified to do it. I don't know what I'm gonna smell. Got 999. Matewan, James Earl Jones. It is a union movie, kind of deals with issues facing unions and stuff. Pretty interesting. I think unions are important. I think workers' rights are important. Hooray. So, release number 1000. I gotta go grab. I didn't bring it over in the pile because it's its own thing. All right. So Criterion release number 1000. is Godzilla, the Showa era. And so it's the first 15 Godzilla movies, right? It's Godzilla, Godzilla Raids Again, King Kong vs. Godzilla, Mothra vs. Godzilla, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Invasion of the Astro Monster, Ibira Horror of the Deep, Son of Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters Attack, Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla vs. Megalon, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and Terror of Mechagodzilla. So it's from 1954 to 1975. Comes in a beautiful, beautiful book. I mean, each one of these movies gets its own essay with like super cool artwork. They got a variety of artists to contribute to this. It's just super cool. Godzilla vs. Hedorah was the first Godzilla movie I ever saw. I watched it all the time when I was a kid. Then this is where the actual discs are. Yeah, if you are a fan of Godzilla, get this. I'm hoping that they can get the rest of the films, or at least get the Heisei era of Godzilla. So the stuff from the 80s up through like the 90s with like Godzilla versus Destroya, like yeah, all that stuff. Because some of those on Blu-ray are hard to find. Like Godzilla versus Biollante is real expensive. So we're down to the final three for this video. We got number 1005, Cold War. I have not watched this. It's a movie that my wife picked up. Seems like it's a romance drama, and it's probably real good. We got 1011, Failsafe. This is like if Doctor Strangelove wasn't funny. And then, last but not least, we got 1012, All About My Mother. Another movie by Pedro Almodovar. I haven't watched this one either, I don't think. No, I've not watched this, but I'm sure it's great. All right, that's it. I got one more of these to pump out, and then from there on, it'll just be, other Criterion pickups from sales and whatnot. So, yeah. All right. See ya.